everyone, it's Millie.
It's Gabby.
And we're back for another week of Change by Degrees. It's been quite the journey. This is like...
Sorry.
She's happy right now.
No, it's a good mood.
But it's a good mood. And this might... We think it'll be the last episode in our second season.
Yeah.
But do not fret, because we actually have some new summer content headed your way
Well,
very soon.
I love how we're saying we have new summer content. We haven't even really started on. We have plans.
We have plans, which we don't have. Like this episode we're about to do now really isn't planned.
We haven't planned it.
I mentioned something to Gabby last night, and she was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty good," and then we're doing it now.
Yep.
We haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about it at all. So
we've talked more about the plans to come than this episode.
But that should tell you something. The fact that we're even like thinking about planning anything should tell you that we're like completely serious about.
We are, and it's
It'll be good.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But this will be the kind of wrap up to a full school year with Change by Degrees.
Yeah.
Technically, two seasons, two semesters.
Well, it's funny because like our second season, but this one was like super weird because all the episode ideas we had kind of went out the window mid-March when Corona started all happening. So we literally planned quote unquote planned every episode like the day of or before, because everything else we had just went out the window. We didn't want to talk about school because everyone was at home. Not that you're not doing school. It just looked different. But it was just different.
Once we acknowledged it once, there's no need to keep talking about it.
Right. So we were just like, okay, so it's, so this wrap up is very, I don't know.
It's not how we imagined it would be.
Just what it is.
But
kind of underwhelming, just like everybody else's wrap ups for either school or jobs or.
That's what it is. Underwhelming. What a word.
It's okay. Sometimes things are just different. They're just different. You have to get used to it.
I don't know about that, but I mean, this is a full year, though.
It is a full year.
I mean, the whole point of this podcast, or like the uniqueness of it, and it'll change as we get in this new stage of life. But the fact that Gabby was a relatively recent college graduate, and that it was my final year, and we've come to the end of that final year.
Now I was only 1 year removed from college. Now I'm 2 years removed, like literally 2 years this weekend removed from college.
Yeah. And we thought, we were planning to talk about graduation and having like a reflection moment before Corona happened. But I think it's even that much more important to recognize and talk about it now. And considering that in 2 days, I will be done.
You're going to be
basically
done.
With college.
Congrats.
I might have like a 1-credit summer class where I email
it doesn't matter.
A tiny paper to professor. But I'm really trying to put in my brain that like, come Thursday, in 2 days and 48 hours, I should be done.
You're done.
And I don't even know how to begin processing that. I wasn't going to walk already, and I've said that like this whole semester. But to kick us off, I thought it'd be cool to see what Gabby remembers from her graduation. Maybe nothing. It's just a blur to her.
No,
and it really
I
wasn't
remember.
Important or what are some things that
let me think.
Stuck out to you on your
I will say,
day?
Yeah, I will say that it was. I remember it being hot. It was like the hottest day of the whole.
I would hate that.
Summer season.
I would hate that so much.
It was, and CNU has black graduation gowns.
Oh.
And so I was sitting there in hot pink high heels and actually it's funny.
A fashion icon.
Yes. It was really funny actually because they took a picture of like our graduating class all sitting there and they put it on like the magazine that comes to my house, like, I don't know, like once every quarter or whatever. Yeah. And it was funny because when I got it that summer, I got it probably in like August, like 2 months after I graduated. And I looked at the picture that they'd taken with like a drone. And I saw my shoes.
Oh, really?
I was like, those are my shoes, because they were like hot pink. So it was really hot. And actually, the English department I was just talking to my mom about this the other day. The English department was the first to walk. I think it's just how it worked out. We were sitting in like the first 6 rows. We were in the very, very front. So I walked like first.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
you had to wait for everyone else.
And I had to wait for everybody else. So I was in like the third out of the 6 rows that were the English department. So I literally walked like within like the first 10 minutes, and then I sat down and I had to sit through another 2.5 hours of people walking across the stage. It wasn't as bad because I was like with my friends and like we were just talking and stuff because we were sat by department. But I don't know, it was just like, I don't know, it was so much and it was so hot, and that's really all I can remember. I remember being like very happy to be done. I was glad that I chose to walk because it gave me kind of like you're saying, like it gave me like a stopping point and being like, okay, I walked across the stage. I shook the president's hand, President Tribble, and I hugged his wife, Rosemary. After I like shook his hand, I got my diploma, and she's standing there. So you hug her as you like walk off. And I did that, and I sat back down, and I was like, that was it. And I just like was like, wow. And then I had to go pick up my diploma because what they gave us was like a rolled up piece of paper that was just blank. You had to go pick up your diploma after you walked, after the ceremony was over. So I went and did that. And which took like 15 minutes, and they were like, "What's your name?" And I told them my name, and they're like, "All right, here you go." And they handed me like it's already bound in like a folder type thing.
Wow, dude,
all official. And so I was like, "All right, that's thank
That's
you.
it.
Bye.
There was nothing else you had to do after that. It was
No.
literally, that was the end.
That was it. People were just taking pictures, and then I was like saying bye to my friends and being like, okay. And I don't even remember what we did that day.
Like went out to celebrate or just...
Yeah, because we had done that the night before.
Because for some people, it's very emotional.
Yeah,
I would
like
be dead
my
inside.
family had because there was Friday activities for graduates as well. So they had come on Friday, and then Saturday was the ceremony. I think we went to brunch afterwards.
That's nice.
And then I already had all my stuff at home. I already had moved out, and then we drove home. And that was it.
Wow, dude.
And it was like pretty crazy to be like
Done.
I went home. Like I'd gone home for the summer before, obviously. But like to go home and be like, I'm not going back in August, and like all my stuff is at home. All the stuff I'd accumulated like from college is like sitting, and that was it. And I was like, I remember like my last night at CNU, because if you go to CNU, you know, like CNU sunsets are like fantastic. Like they're the best ever because you're right by the beach.
Right.
And it's just like the land is so flat, so you can see the sun for so much longer, and like we don't have tons of trees. And I remember like the last night I was walking with my family through CNU, and it was like the sunset, and I was like, this is the last sunset I'm gonna like enjoy as a student. And I was like, oh man, like it's just really like bittersweet because I loved my time at CNU. I really did. I was ready to graduate, but I enjoyed being at CNU. Like I love my school. So that was really kind of weird. But yeah, and it just kind of ended, and then August came, and it didn't hit me till August because August I didn't go back to school.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
And
you
I was
really
just
hadn't
like,
realized until...
Yeah, because I mean, like it's normal to go home for the summer, but then when August rolls around and you don't have any classes, like you didn't register for classes in the spring for the fall semester, and then you're just kind of like watching everybody else go back to school, and you're just sitting and you're like college kids go back to school, and elementary through high school go back to school, and you're just like,
Not me.
not me. This is the first time I'm not doing this in 13 years or more. Really, more than that. It's like 15 years. So it's like, that was really strange. But I'm glad I had that dividing line.
Yeah, no, wow. When you talk about it, I'm like, man, it is a big deal. And yeah, I wasn't going to walk anyway. But I think the one good thing, something that I'm realizing during this time is that it's important, though. Even if you're not forced to sit in a row with your friends and walk up through a stage and leave your stuff. Like it already happened for a lot of kids where they've had to move out and that stage has already happened. But then just to reflect on not just like the past year, because there's already crazy stuff going on. Like there's already additional stress.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm just trying to be a senior and graduate. But the past 4 years of your life or longer, I mean, for some kids it takes longer. So as much as against it I would be, I was telling Gabby, like, I'm not going to be sad. And it's not that I'm sad, but I've recognized the importance of like thinking through it. And I even told myself, I mean, I want to do it. It's like I want to write down like what my lowest point in college was, what my highest point in college was, that what I've grown, what I've seen the most growth in, a friend I got out of it, things like that I don't want to blow past because as horrible, as unenjoyable of a time college was, I do know it's a time that I really needed in my life and a time that I grew a lot in. That I think writing it down and like forcing myself to think through it, I think especially after Thursday, and I'm like, that's going to be it. And something that I've been working so hard towards and wanted to quit so many times. Like I started college thinking I was going to fail my first semester. And I say that as no joke. I was a homeschool student who thought like, I'm just going to show myself that I can't do this. And then to have done it is like, mind-blowing to me. But I think whether you enjoyed it or didn't, like self-reflection is really important. And even if you don't know how much you've grown the past 4 years or during your college life, to then ask friends who've done it, we can see what they think, just to kind of support each other through that.
Or just to ask like, well, how was I, especially someone if you knew them like 4 years ago before you started college, to be like, well, how was I before college, and like how am I, like how do you think I am now? Like people who either saw you start and finish, or like, I don't know, just to like reflect and be like, well, you know, because I think it also helps. Self-reflection is hard because you have to be like super self-aware.
Yeah.
So to ask outside people who you trust to be like, well, how was I 4 years ago and how am I now? Like,
because I don't think you realize it.
No,
like, even
you don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
I recently did something a few days ago, and Gabby's like, you wouldn't have even done that a year ago.
Yeah,
and I
think
did.
you would have.
But then I was like, oh man, you're really right.
Yeah.
And that I was proud of myself though, because it was growth. And I like I said, like college was just such a sucky time for me. But I did grow a lot, and I think I'm a lot more, I know who I am a lot more, like self-aware in what I want in life, and how badly I want things, which we even touched on in the last episode with Tim.
Yeah, true.
His interview. But Yeah, it's wild to me. I don't think I like you said, especially now that even if I'm not walking, but it's just not really a thing anymore. It's not going to really hit any of us until like you show up at your job and you're not going to a classroom.
That's what's weird. Because it's not like you haven't gone home for the summer before, or you've stopped classes for the summer. Like you've done that 4 times or 3 times. But to be in August and to watch everybody else go back, especially since like, I don't know if you will, but I still get emails from CNU.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, y'all need to clean out your database, because like some of them you can unsubscribe from, but a lot of them you have to email them and be like, can you take me off this list? Because I get emails about, like, I got an email the other day about housing from the student, I forget what he's called. Anyway, he deals with students and stuff. And he was like, if you need to come get stuff out of your room, these are the times you can do it. We're still social distancing, blah, 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 blah. And so I was like reading it and I was like, first of all, why am I reading this email? But okay. And, but it's just weird stuff like that like, I don't know, like campus activities. I still get emails about campus activities.
That's so funny to me.
And I'm like, first of all, take me off the list. But second of all, I kind of scroll through to be like curious about like
what's going on?
What is happening?
Yeah.
Like, and it's kind of funny. I don't know. And it's also weird to think like I'm now older than like people in college. Because I don't know. When I was growing up, people in college were like, they seemed so old and mature. And like everybody thinks that when you're little that a 16-year-old is old and mature, and that's not true. But like, just to think that I'm like older now than people in college is like kind of strange too.
It's a little freaky.
It's a little freaky. Yeah, it's kind of weird. So
it's just certain things start popping out to me that in the moment I was thinking about them a little bit. Like I think I'm trying to remember actually the last time I was on campus, and I think.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is you didn't.
Because I was so excited. The one thing I was excited to do, and I told this to Gabby, was like the last time I leave campus to do like a big like.
Something
screw Mason.
Well, that's the other thing.
Like, is as I walk to the parking garage and be like, this is the last time I'm gonna have to walk halfway through campus to get through this building and see this professor I didn't like and go through this like whatever cafeteria that I have this horrible memory in, or whatever it is, and just say like goodbye to all of that and say like I'm done. And I was like ready to blare music out of my car and then go down what is it, like Ox Road, Braddock or whatever, and like just book it and get caught by the police and be like, it's fine. This was my last time on campus. That's one thing that I'm really upset that I don't get, because I was like, that was
you
best.
also don't get the closure of like walking through campus one more time and being like, bye.
Like,
whether it's spiteful or not, like you don't get that. You don't get
Mine was a little too intense, but it was for an assignment. I had to go to a sports game for a music class I had, and I think this was the last time I was on campus, and it was so funny because I couldn't park in my usual spot, so I literally had to walk across the whole campus to get to, some people know it as a Patriot Center and some as Eagle Bank Arena now, what it's named, to go to a basketball game and talk about how the Green Machine, what it's doing in a sports event. Very boring, all very boring. But I remember walking through campus all alone. It was the weekend, so it was empty because it wasn't during classes, and it felt something about it, like it's like some small part of me knew that was my last time on campus.
Well, because at that point, everyone had been kind of talking about
it, and it was before spring break.
It
was like that Saturday before spring break, and there was something eerie about it. And I remember like, because I had to go through the whole campus, which I hadn't done in a long time, and remembering specific things from different places. That memory started coming back to me, and I'm like, this is not the time nor the place, Millicent. You just have to get this assignment done. But when I think back to that, I'm like, wow, so
like your brain was like,
happened.
I'm trying to give you closure right now, and
I
you're
know,
rejecting
like, I was rejecting it so heavy. But I actually started running at some point because I'm like, I just don't want to think about all this, and I was late. But my brain, I knew a little bit.
Your brain knew subconsciously.
And I remember on my way back, I had gotten, because I was so tired after taking notes, and I went to my favorite Starbucks that everyone knows on campus, and I got my last Starbucks from that place, which
is that the one when we were in the. When I was with you, and it was like there's like one table in there, and then the rest.
Oh, well, that's the one in the JC. Okay. The one, it was further down, that's like its own Starbucks.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's a little bit bigger. And that's the one that I always went before class in the mornings this semester. And I was just like, I was a lot more, what's the word for like thinking? Like
aware.
And just thought-provoking than I usually am. And it freaked me out. And now I'm like, that makes sense. So it's just things look different, they seem different, even things that sucked at the moment. It's amazing how you can like miss some weird part of it.
Well, I mean, because I think about like, what's weird is that like when I think about me as a freshman, first of all, me thinking of myself being like I was 18.
I cringe so hard.
That's so weird for me to be like I was 18 when I moved into college. Like I was 18. Like I think I have no clue what's going on right now, and I'm 24. And I was like I was 18, which is normal to go to college at 18 or 17 or whatever.
I remember that day. That was
it was weird.
My life.
Like and then but thinking back on that, it seems like such a long time ago to be moving in as a freshman at CNU when I was 18 years old. And then, but also it seems like yesterday. Like I could tell you
exactly what happened.
I could tell you like what room I was in. I could tell you my student ID number. I could tell you getting my picture taken for my student ID. Like I remember everything. Not everything, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it seems like yesterday, but also it seems like such a long time ago because like I'm 24 now and like that seems like I couldn't imagine
That's
like
6 years ago.
Half
a decade.
Like I can't even imagine like going to CNU, like going back to being 18 and moving in as a freshman and looking ahead for 4 years and being like, this is my life for 4 years. It seems so long and then it's like gone. Like it's like looking back, I'm like that I can remember everything, but it seems so short. Like it was like, did I really live through 4 years at CNU? Like I guess I did. Like it doesn't seem like I did, but I did. Like it's so weird like how time does that.
I'm so grateful because I remember there's a point, and I don't know if this is the same for you, but like there's a point in your college career somewhere where you're like, do I want to finish? Because it's like either just super long. I remember, and like I'm so glad I stick through with it because my tolerance to go to class every day, unless you enjoy your classes, but there was a lot of classes at the end that were just like pointless. Yeah. So my tolerance to go through that has gone down considerably from my freshman year to now senior. I'm like, I couldn't do another full semester. I say that and I probably could. Like shout out to Candace because I cannot.
Candace,
I don't
like
imagine
she's
going
a
back
trooper.
To a master's. She's a trooper. Because for me, I'm like, I'm done. I cannot. Like, thank God my years from 18 to 17 to 21 were the ones to do it, and that's it. Some people can do a gap year, could be me, but
it's just like
it is wild.
It
seems like
insane.
each semester, like the weeks for me, I think the days were long and the week passed. It changed from like semester to semester. It depended on your schedule.
Yeah, I always said that I felt that let me think, because it was the same for me. The day was always kind of long, but the weeks went by so fast.
Yeah, right?
Like so fast. Especially, I think for me, why it went back so fast is because like when you have like your whole syllabus from end of August through December, mid-December, right before Christmas, like you're looking at the whole thing and you can comprehend those 4 months in such a small space because all you have to do is flip the page and you're from August to December of your syllabus, you know? So it's like, I have an assignment due end of November after Thanksgiving and it's October. So let me go ahead and start. Like you work ahead so much, or maybe not ahead, but you look ahead so much that it just goes by so fast because you're not that you're trying to rush it, but it's kind of inevitable because you have to be working ahead so much and looking ahead at like the next month. So it's just like, I think it just goes by so
the
fast.
Spacing of time, like after I'm done reflecting to then think like the rest of my life is ahead of me. And I think the dynamic of life changes so much. I don't know. I mean, for you, I know you were struggling getting internships and whatnot, but because when you're in college, like part of the buzz and like the push to get on is that you're working towards an end goal. Like 4 years is pretty decent. You can wrap your head around that. You have breaks. Like you can push through the fall months because you know you have Christmas break.
Right.
And that really isn't something that exists in a work environment. It's just way
that was the thing that was like really like crazy for me. Like it's exactly that, is that like from the time you're born through if you go to college when you graduate when you're 21, 22 years old, like it's not like it's planned, quote unquote, like but it's just like, okay, you go from kindergarten to elementary school you go to middle school you go to high school, what are you doing? Okay, college, great, go to college, and there's always like a next step, but then after college it just kind of drops off and everyone's like, now what are you gonna do? And you're like, I don't know, you're supposed to tell me, dude. Like you've been telling me for the past 22 years of my life what I'm supposed to be doing, and now it just drops off and society is like, your turn. And you're like, no, but you've been telling me for 22 years what I'm supposed to do, and now you're just going to let me out here like flounder.
You don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing. So it's like up to you, and that's like insane. I mean, I guess college was also up to you, but I mean, I don't know. Only so much, because it's like once you go to college, then you have a schedule and you have things you have to do and you have breaks, like you said, like you have Christmas break and you have
so your life is governed by that.
Yeah.
And then
so it's like then it's gone.
Your life.
And it's gone, and it's like your job is like, do you want vacation time? And you're like, oh, when can I take vacation? Like, I don't get Christmas break.
It's a whole
it's like, oh, if you want vacation time, you can like, we have holiday pay for Christmas Day, but then you need to take vacation time if you want that whole week of Christmas. And you're like, oh, I don't get that. Like,
no,
you know,
dude, it's a shock.
I mean, summer vacation.
Oof. That's what I'm saying. It's so different unless you're a teacher. But I'm just like, I'm trying to realize all these things now. I mean, it's been easy because I've worked all of my college.
Yeah.
Most of my college experience. But it's going to be so different. Like, I've always looked forward to it. But now when I'm like right there, I'm like, I'm so excited to be done. I thought I thought I'd have more motivation to finish. But I think this like crap COVID-19 has like killed any motivation because it's totally different for me. Who wants to get up for an online class? I have 2 finals and a paper. This has been the slowest, and Gabby can tell you. She's like, Millie, just do it. Yeah. But this has been the slowest paper I've ever written in my whole life. It's so painful writing each word. This is me. I just finished another sentence. I wonder how far my word count went up. 10 words? Interesting.
We're making progress.
literally.
No one has any motivation to do anything.
Like, no, I'm saying it's all gone. Yeah. And it just makes it so much weirder. Like graduating and saying goodbye to that, your whole life basically, is difficult enough. And then you have this. But I have enjoyed, like, people are just getting creative with, like, virtual graduations. Yeah. I might, like, celebrate by who knows what. I might get a milkshake at Chick-fil-A.
There you go. Like I was like, dude, on Saturday, because we have to come to work on Saturday. I'm like, I'll get you some Christian chicken, some Chick-fil-A.
But just something, I guess our advice to you would be, just like I am, to reflect, whether that's writing or just thinking in your brain. But I think writing helps because you can look back to it. And I mean, I have a horrible memory. So, but I want to remember because I know, like, I went through the crappiest times of my life during college. So I don't want to easily forget that. I want to hold on to it and be like, but I did that. And I did that.
Yeah. Like, even if it's just like, I mean, the reflection of like, what was my worst time? What was my best time? But also like funny stuff. Like,
true.
What was the craziest class that I took that I didn't, what I expected was not what I got. Like, what was the weirdest class? Like, there's just something stupid. Like, who was the strangest person I met? Like, oh my gosh. You know, just stuff like that.
I have,
that's kind of funny.
Some people that I've met, and Gabby knows, dude, that was funny though. There's a few people I know in college that she's even Snapchatted, and I'm like, good.
Yep.
This is so good, and she knows exactly what I'm thinking about.
Exactly who you're thinking about.
But yeah, it's true. I've met the craziest. I mean, professors are so whack. Some are amazing, but some are just like wacky. Who's the funniest professor?
Just like fun stuff like that, because then you can look back and, I mean, I don't know if you're the type. I keep a lot of stuff. Like, I keep things. I'm not a hoarder, but like.
No, but she does. And
so, like, I can look back 20 years, hopefully, when I'm, well, whatever. And I can look back 10 years on, like, what I wrote down when I was in college and being like, oh, I remember that professor. Or, like, I remember when this happened. Or, like, oh, my gosh, like, that's insane. I can't believe I actually went through that and, like, processed that, like, mentally. I don't know, just stuff like funny stuff like that is just fun to write down. Like, what was the best class you ever took? Or, like, did you discover a new interest in college that you didn't? Like, I did. I discovered a lot of interest in college that I did not ever have. Like, when I was 18, a senior in high school, it was not even on my radar. And then I was 22 graduating, and it's like, that's all I could think about. Like, you know, so those things like that, that also it's like, well, I did learn stuff from college because I developed new interests, which I guess is the point of going to, like, a liberal arts college. But, I mean, just stuff like that that's, like, fun and reflecting, but, like, still fun to think about. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, no part of me is sad, especially since I haven't been on campus and seeing people. But I might get there. I don't know. We'll have to see in a few weeks how I feel. But all I know right now is that I'm just so happy to be so close. And I never thought it'd feel so far. Like, to me, to have to write another 4,000 words in the next 2 days, don't ask me how I'm going to do it. It's going to be me, like, it's due Thursday at 10 p.m. I know, that's what Gabby tells me every time. But it's due Thursday at 10 p.m. I swear at 9:30, Gabby's going to help me be editing that thing.
That's fine. I don't have anything else to do.
But it's so hard. Don't ask me why. I think everyone's
struggling.
But it's just a struggle.
Because this is like the most proactive I think a lot of college students have ever had to be. Because it's like literally not only do you not have class in person, but it's like, are people even having online classes? A lot of them aren't. Yeah. So it's just like, here's an assignment, get it done. Like, that's hard.
I'm saying for my honors class, this guy is like old. This was his last semester here. He was retiring. And so he has a webpage. He doesn't like to use Blackboard because he thinks it's going to like attack the people or the internet, or he just thinks it's like, I don't know, he has some issue with it. And he's like, I made a webpage, you check it, and he like updates it. And it was so funny, actually. I hope I don't get like, don't graduate because of this, but
oh my God.
Our final was going to be uploaded or like available to us at noon on Thursday to do within a certain time span. And my sneaky self checked last night and it was there, so I downloaded it and already have it.
I don't think he knows how to make things private.
I don't think he does, but it's so funny to me, but it's so different because that class, he just like looked through the slides. I'm answering all the slides questions now because who did that week to week? Who said to do that week to week and then didn't do it? Me.
You literally were like, in a few episodes, you're like, yeah, try to like keep up. And I was like, you're not even doing this right now.
Nope. And I didn't. And now I'm doing it all right now.
Yep.
That's fine.
There you go.
But that's how you were supposed to do it. So I have to get it done. Yeah. So I'm going through all the slides, answering the iClicker questions. I have to do this final, which that really worked out well for me. And I have to write this paper. And I have another final on Thursday in 2 days.
I think this is all going to go really well for you.
Dude.
It's the senioritis plus COVID plus...
It's horrendous is what it is.
Yeah.
Mason has like alternative grading available, but they pushed the deadline. But now you have to have like an actual form to submit if you want to get alternative grading. I'm like, dude.
Oh, you mean like kind of like, what do you mean alternate, like pass-fail option?
Yeah, pass-fail rather than...
Oh, yeah. You have to submit a form for that.
Which it was just super used to be easily available to us where you could just click. And then,
really?
Right.
We always had to submit a
Monday,
form.
No, well, I think it's because it's a special thing for COVID.
Okay.
And they had it just open, so it would be easy. But now the deadline was yesterday, so now I have to submit a form. And I'm like, dude, no one has their final grades yet. So who is going to decide? Unless you knew,
you just have to project.
Unless you knew your grades
were
going down the tank.
That's why you have to like. You have to calculate your GPA average to be like, okay, if I got, which is what me and Regina used to do, I'd be like, okay, if I get a 50 on this final, how much will my grade drop? And it would be like, you'll go from a 93 to a 92, and I'd be like, all right, I'm not studying. Like, because it's like, I'm not gonna, so you have to like, you just have to know, dude. If I know
the thing is, like, for my honors class, which is the only one I'm really worried about. 2, I already know I've gotten A's in. 1, I'm pretty sure I have an A in. I have to take the final, but we'll see. You know, you can kind of work your way to the final online. But this last one, I haven't gotten a grade at all semester, so I have no idea.
Then you just got to take a chance.
And I don't know if he's just going to, like, give out free A's because this is last semester, if he's going to be like, that paper's trash, which... I know it will be.
I feel like a lot of professors are just looking to like, did you follow the rules and did you do it? Like, did you upload something for me to grade? Great, A+. Like,
so if that's that, so I'm not gonna go through maybe I do get an A. If not, pass, fail, dude. My only one.
There you go.
Whew. What a time.
There are many classes I should have pass failed and I didn't. So
Gabby was telling me about this.
There are. I can think of 3 classes I should have pass failed and I chose not to because I was like, oh, and I can get my grade up. And then I like failed. I didn't fail anything, but I got like D's, and I was like, oh dang, that's okay.
The thing is, she's so unaffected. If I had like one word to describe your college self, even now, but especially your college self, it's like unaffected.
I just was like, well, it's too late.
You're a little dead inside. It's okay.
Plus, I was like, I mean, I can bring out my GPA. They were classes. It's not like classes I need for my major. They were like gen eds, and so I was like, oh, dude, I ain't worried about that. Like, I'll bring it up by getting A's in all my English classes, which I did. So I was like, what do I care? And it came up. I mean, yeah, it was affected. My GPA was affected because I had 2 D's, but like that's gonna drag your GPA down a little bit. But like I compensated.
Dude,
it got better.
I think my GPA is pretty solid.
Good.
I'm gonna get my CS minor. That's the price of. I had to pay like $500 something, which isn't bad. But here's the thing about it. I know it's not bad. There's gonna be people screaming at me in the comments, being like, "500 is the cheapest thing I've ever." It's 1 credit.
It's not even 1 class. It's 1 credit.
I'm not in a classroom.
It's not 1 class that's 3 credits. It's
no,
1 credit.
1 credit. 5 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not even using any online platform because the professor just does email. So I'm literally paying over $500 to email at the end of 5 weeks a document.
What do you want it for
that's
free?
That's like 10 pages.
You want to email somebody for free,
professor.
dude? It's his time, dude.
Dude,
it's not him. It's the school.
It's for him to read a 10-page paper.
He'll probably skim it.
$500.
He'll skim through it. He won't even read it. He'll skim through it.
I love that. I could use that elsewhere, but this is where we're at. But then that way I can graduate.
That'll be
officially.
That'll be your week of processing. That week that you're submitting that paper. Well,
then I'll be like,
that paper. Then you'll be like, okay, here we go.
Here we go. When I press submit and he gets back to me because then you have to register or like apply to graduate. Because I applied this semester because I thought I was graduating. Was I wrong? Yes.
Which is so weird to me because like side note, at least it's saying like when you apply to graduate, it tells you if you were on track to graduate or not.
Well, the thing is, for my program, which is new, I was like the first person to ever graduate.
But it'll deny you.
It was like an issue, but then my what were they called? Advisors? Mm-hmm. Fake. But advisors was like, oh, it's fine. We just have to check with the registrar and it'll all like get sorted out in the end. And Gabby heard this conversation, but it was like, no, it doesn't line up. And I was missing 1 credit. And they made this class up. so I can email this professor.
Yep.
And I'll pay $500.
$500.
I could do that tonight just to feel it, dude. Feel something.
Yep. No, dude, it's good. I think we processed a lot.
We did. I'm like, wow.
And it's good. I mean, like, I don't know. And congrats to all the grads, because I know last weekend was a big, well, quote unquote, grad weekend. And then this week coming up is another grad weekend, and probably will be until the end of May. But like, congratulations if you're graduating this year. I'm sorry, it was probably not the way you expected to graduate from college.
I know,
but now
people. There's a lot that people are missing, and I recognize that. I wasn't super involved in campus life.
But just having like your family with you and like having your family celebrate your 4 years, which is not a long time, but it's a lot of work. Like
especially when you're that young. It is a lot. It's a big chunk.
Semesters of work and grades and tears and laughing and being drunk. I mean, that's a lot to celebrate. So you know what? I'm sorry
maybe some other things
that your families couldn't be like with you, relatives, like seeing you walk across the stage and get that really expensive piece of paper.
Yeah, I really wanted to kind of like do something. I didn't want to have like
we'll
a big
still do
grad
something.
party.
We'll do something when this is all over.
Do something. But I'm like,
the Chick-fil-A is just a substitute. We'll do
Christian
something.
chicken.
Yeah, Christian chicken.
But yeah, for sure we do celebrate you. We see you. I feel what you're going through. But I'm excited, and also just for our podcast, like, don't ask me where this year is gone.
Oh, dude, yeah.
When I was listening through the first few episodes, I was cringing.
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that.
Don't do that to yourself. I was like,
our first episode was what, like 8 minutes?
8 minutes. Dude.
That is insane. We were being
minutes.
dude, and we planned that episode to like the nth degree, dude. We were like
rain boots.
Yep.
If you're an OG, you know rain boots.
I don't even remember the other things we said, but we were very much like, these are our tips. But that's weird.
Now
so
this is where we're
let's
at.
not even talk about that. Anyway, so congratulations. Celebrate anyway. No matter no matter what way you celebrate, just do something to like celebrate yourself, because that's important.
Have a piece of cake.
Have a piece of cake. Get a little piece of cake. And yeah,
get yourself something.
Well, this is our last episode of season 2.
This is weird.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much.
It's been a whole year, and the thing is, we're not gonna be gone. We're not gonna wait until August to be back.
No, we'll be back this summer,
because we know this whole schedule's out of whack, and people want content. We want something to do, so we are going to be doing something, and it's really exciting.
Yeah,
I think it's something different for us.
It'll be good. Yeah, we'll have to. I don't know how. We'll do something on social media. We'll announce something. Or
True.
Do something
for our summer series, and we will be back. Even though we'll both be graduated, we're still serving college students and young adults. Even though now we'll both be graduates.
We're both young adults. So listen to us, because we know what we're saying.
Exactly.
Just kidding. We don't know what we're.
So it'll be different, but we're super excited.
Yeah, it'll be good.
We're both growing in different ways.
Yeah,
and wow, dude.
We're so.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
I don't either. Now we're just dragging this up. We need closure. Here we go. This is closure.
Bring us.
I'm gonna bring us home. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Change by Degrees. And follow us on social media if you want to.
If not, you always know.
You always unsubscribe. Also, our YouTube channel. We have that.
Yes, we do have a YouTube channel, and it's been really funny.
We think it's hilarious. It's literally us like cracking up, and then Millie uploading the video, and then we're like, I hope people watch it.
And it has like 0 views, which is
we have so much fun doing it. We think it's so funny. We don't think we're
but
funny,
we do upload regularly.
We do every Monday-ish.
Well, we have
Monday/Tuesday at 12:01
Don't
a.m.
drag me. Do not
dragging
drag me.
you.
I made it before midnight. Once I'm not in school, maybe I'll have an actually set time of like 5 p.m. or something.
There you go.
But right now, no. You get the midnight upload.
That's okay, because everyone's awake. So really, you have no excuse, because I know y'all are up watching.
But it's regular uploads.
Netflix.
And it's like just funny, pointless things.
It's pointless, and we think it's fun to do, so we do it because we're in charge of the podcast. So there you go. But yeah, check that out if you want to as well. And if not, then we'll just see you. We'll see you not next Thursday.
Like 2 weeks,
2 or 3 weeks,
2 or 3 weeks.
I don't want to say, because if everything falls apart, then I don't want to say.
There's a few that you'll see us in June.
You will see us in June. Yes, no matter what we do, we'll be back in June.
First week, second week, third,
June.
First or June.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
And
we hope that you continue to follow us on this journey.
Do that.
Switch it up, dude.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.